Hey, and welcome to the broadcast of Glue Wednesday. Glue Wednesday is GLUE, God's love undoes everything. And I created it because so often people say Wednesday is hump day. And I say that hump has the connotation of the need to get over. Not that it's a bad term, it's a wonderful cliche, but I just try to find ways to make people look at things differently. And I look at Wednesday as the middle of a traditional 7-day week that glues the beginning and the end together. So it's the Glue Wednesday, glue. And even as you say glue, you see it puts us in a pose of prayer. And that's what I always want to do is that you know that GLUE, God's love undoes everything. So hey Sierra, what's going on, model? All right, yeah, we're going to start the broadcast in less than 2 minutes, the live broadcast, but I always have that on there for when people decide to check this out later. They can get a quick glimpse and understanding of what Glue Wednesday is all about. But right now, we're going to just let the audience build. We got less than a minute, and we'll start our broadcast. Cool, and welcome. Now, is this your first time on, C? Or I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. If it's not your first time, it's been a while since you've been on. So welcome back. Good to see you. All right. Okay. Now we got less than a minute. Yeah, right. Okay. Are you still on? All right. Well, here we go. Okay. First of all, as I put in the promo, welcome to one of the 12 months for loving, living, and laughing. And I decided to start that way because that's how I start my Golden Brick Road newsletter always. Every month is one of the 12 best months for doing whatever you do. Hey, what's up, Holly? All right, Chicago in the house. And and obviously, if you think about it, one of the 12 best months. In other words, each month is a great month for enjoying life and for celebrating. I always say don't let a man-made calendar restrict your celebration. So even though we may, should there ever be a month where we don't love? Should there ever be a month where we don't respect somebody's history? A month where we don't appreciate God? So that's what it's all about. What's going on, Kevin? So this is one of the 12 months for loving, living, and laughing. And so I've decided to ask, will you march, M-A-R-C-H, make a real commitment to history? And on this week's Glue Wednesday, what we'll do is look at what I call the formula for March, M-A-R-C-H. Will you make a real commitment to history? And I say that we can do that by adding up 3 other acronyms, and that is love, live, and laugh. So how much you love, live, and laugh will determine how much you make a real commitment to history. See, if you're committed to history, you'll find a way to stop, or for instance, it's not the only way, but one of my for instances is if you're committed to history, you'll find a way to stop or at least slow down criticizing the younger generation for taking shortcuts that older generations created to get better results for our young people. See, a lot of times we say, all these young people, they don't do this, they got it so easy. But come on, we invented the remote control. We invented I grew up where we used to be able to smoke on the airplane. And and they had the separate sections and in an office building and in a job, So we've created a lot of the shortcuts that we sometimes want to slap the wrist of our younger generations and saying that they don't appreciate what's going on, when in fact they don't. You can't have an appreciation for something you don't understand or haven't lived. Don't we have the same type of option when we read the history books, when we go to history class, and we appreciate what it must have took to get through all the different types of slavery, not just in America, the different types of slavery that have existed around this world to get us to where we are in modern day, because there was always somebody doing the work. So, so just as we appreciate what's gone on in history, even just a generation or two before us, forget about 100 and 200 years and 2,000 years, even as we appreciate that, let's find a way to recognize that we should appreciate that our younger generation is going to carry the same mantle and going to be just as successful as we are. Now, if you don't think they're going to be successful, guess what? Maybe that means you don't consider yourself successful, or you don't think you're going to continue to be successful. So let me give two more quick shout outs. Hey, Vanessa, welcome aboard. And Russell, good to see y'all. So today's message is, if you consider, as I said, if you're committed to history, you'll find a way to stop or slow down criticizing your younger generations for taking shortcuts that older generations created to get better results for the young one. And so I'll start with a poem that celebrates and combines February's Black History Month with March's Women's History Month, though they are among the many celebrations that we should have all year. This poem is called Holy Rosa. And obviously, well, not obviously, but let me give you a spoiler alert. It's about Rosa Parks. Hey, what's up, Richard? Rosa, Holy Rosa. Didn't we mention that the bus was only the beginning? For this movement meant much more than a ride. The strength in this woman was her obedience, yet her spirit was motivated by her pride. Pride made a comment to wisdom. Asked it, how necessary was it to lay low? Wisdom was no fool. It said, I'll go with you. Just promise me that you'll take it slow. So they worked their way to the front of the bus, these two, pride and wisdom. They made no pause as others watched and warned. And they sank into that seat. And as they sank into that seat, that moment became everlasting, for never had authority been so scorned. Fitting that her name was Rosa, for she rose above the pain that held so many back. The pain that says slavery is mental, and its favorite color never has been black. Slavery's favorite color has always been ignorance. Ignorance somehow continues to erase love. As you take your ride in this lifetime, be smart. Make sure the driver of your bus is up above. So as you can see, just as I said earlier, when we look back at history and we have an appreciation for what was done, we have to recognize that our younger generation and our next generations are going to be able to look back at what we did and have that same type of appreciation, even if they don't seem to appreciate it right now based on our definition of what appreciation should look like. Because I'm sure you can imagine, and we may have seen in movies or something, where there were plenty of black people who didn't want Rosa Parks to get on that bus. There were black people who didn't like Martin Luther King. There were people way back who didn't like Jesus Christ. So there's always been someone who has had to make a move that may have seemed unpopular, or they may have doubted in the moment, or been doubted by those around them, but they still had to do it. So that's marching. Making a real commitment to history. So here's how I think that love, life, and laughter can help you make that commitment to history. First, we'll look at, ask yourself, what's your daily routine? When you're making history, you have to have a daily routine at whatever time you perform it, whether you have a morning routine, an afternoon routine, an evening. Are you stopping and taking some time for prayer, meditation, exercise? What's your daily routine? That's how you make a commitment. And then there's love, L-O-V-E. Let ourselves value everyone. Are you showing how much you value your friends and different relationships? See, it's not just the romantic love that we're talking about. Let ourselves value everyone. Everyone in your life is important. Even the knuckleheads in your past had value because they help you make a turn and go in a direction that you may not have originally planned on going. So it's also about not living with regret. Relationships that didn't work, don't carry that baggage into your next one, which is what a lot of us say we don't do, but we do. And so it's important for you to try to find a way to release that past relationship and value that person is no longer at that level in your life, because what they've done is help you make an opening for a different type of a relationship. But the relationship is different, but you have to make sure that you remain the same. And we'll see that as we go further. But remember, there's no one way to do it. Whether it's in having a relationship or having a daily routine that that keeps you going. So what is your daily routine? At what time are you, whatever your time to do, you're doing it. But make sure you're doing that. And love. Let ourselves value everyone. I also had another acronym for love, and that's LOVE, Lady of Value Every Day. I had done that for a friend of mine celebrating her birthday. I'm pretty sure it was Deb Davis, so I'm going to give her a shout out anyway. But Lady of Value Every Day. Are you showing how much you value yourself? See, so I said let ourselves value everyone, the friends and relationships, but also are you showing how much you value yourself? And even though in this case it says ladies, I'm certain, actually men, you should be doing the same. But we tend to focus and concentrate on the mistakes instead of the victories. And yes, you should want to get better and learn from your mistakes, but just be sure not to do it by honoring your mistakes. See, that's what we do sometimes is we honor our mistakes by saying things like, stupid me. I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I didn't see that coming. See, they're all natural and impulsive expressions that we use. But when we don't reverse them, we honor them and give them power over our next decision. So what we have to do is reverse them. Okay? When we reverse them, we have to have it, we reverse them by completing the sentence, okay? Stupid me, though it's not the dumbest thing I've ever done. And I remember being smart enough to fill in the blank. And then I'm such an idiot. Finish the sentence. But I forgive myself for being so passionate. And I had a good time while. And the reason I say that, let me stop on that one for a second. As I say, put a pin in that one. Times when we do something, that we consider stupid, or especially when we consider ourselves having been an idiot, is because we did it with passion. And we just went right, we feel we were surrounded by trusting people and in the right situation, and we were just passionate about what we did, and we did it, and then we stopped, and then there's that feeling of I'm an idiot, like suddenly I'm standing in the middle of half court at the basketball game, and nobody else is on the court with me. Everybody's looking at me laughing. They got a commercial about that, where someone suddenly, fell out of their clothes and stuff. So that's where we feel like an idiot, because we feel like everybody's looking at us like we're stupid based on something we did. But a lot of times that action that we took is based on how passionate we are for the situation. So forgive yourself and recognize that you were passionate, and that's why you did it. But did you have a good time? See, that's what I'm saying. Give the power to the fact that you had a good time. Even if we want to make it a relationship. Yeah, I ended up looking like an idiot. That person used me. They got my money. They stopped this and that. But man, I was having a good time. So and they didn't kill you. So, so that's what you want to do. Forgive yourself for being passionate, and think about the good time that you had so that you can pass that on to the next relationship. So try not to carry on negative baggage. We all carry on the last relationship, but carry on some of the good times and then just have it with a different person. And then that last one, I can't believe I didn't see that coming. And how do you finish that sentence? I can't believe I didn't see that coming, but now I know that what it can look like. I'll continue to celebrate being who I am so that I keep the door open for who I can be. Do you see the difference there? I will continue to celebrate being who I am so I keep the door open for who I can be. Yeah, see, maybe I didn't know that was coming. So why don't I forgive myself for what I didn't know? We don't know everything, but we live a lot of different things. So keep forgiving yourself. Keep finishing those sentences and making yourself that you see that you have value, so that you don't honor the things the negative words that you use for yourself, which are usually natural, impulsive, and it's just a knee-jerk, oh, stupid me, I didn't believe I did that. I'm such an idiot. See? Sometimes we make it all one sentence. Just make sure that you finish that sentence and reverse it and give yourself permission to celebrate that you made it through. That's love. Then there's live, L-I-V-E. And this one I want to, it's a little longer, but it's listen, inspire, and value everyone as well as the experiences. See, listening is the number one communication skill. And it also helps you pace yourself. When you listen, you pace yourself. Be sure that you're hearing what the person means rather than trying to get where they're going before they do. So what you can do is you can ask questions in one of two ways. One, you can parrot. Parroting, like P-A-R-O-T, R-R-O-T, probably want a cracker, parroting. And what parroting is, use the exact words to confirm that you heard them correctly. Oh, so you're saying, and you use the exact word. That's parroting. And then there's the second way is that you can listen is paraphrasing. In other words, taking what they said and confirming what you heard by putting it into your own words. And what you're doing there is you're serving two purposes. One, you're confirming with them that you got what they meant. But two, by putting in your words, you're confirming that you understood it. And now both of you have that understanding, and now you can move forward. That's why listening is the number one communication skill. And try not to do what I call listening for the period. A lot of people listen for the period. In other words, what's a period? It means that the sentence is over. So a lot of times people are listening and they don't agree with the first thing you said. So now they're just listening for the period in your sentence. So, oh, good, they're finished. Let me say what I had to say. And then they say it, and they say, and then they're like, well, that's what I was saying. See, you never listened to anything else they said because you found one thing that you didn't agree with. So don't listen to the period. Listening skills, and go on and Google it or something. Go to Toastmasters. Find ways to practice your listening skills because they're going to make a huge difference. If you're any kind of customer service, even watch when you make a return at a store and see how the person is listening to what you're saying so that they can give you the correct response. Even in your service when you go to a restaurant. So parroting, using the exact words, and then paraphrasing, summing up their words by using yours, and then most importantly, breathe. Listening requires breathing. Because sometimes we're in an emotional situation that when what we're talking about, and because maybe we're listening based on the fact that we're having a disagreement. So breathe as you listen and help make sure that you understand somebody. The L, so that's the L in live. The I is for inspire. When you live, recognize that you are somebody's messenger. Don't doubt it. You are somebody's messenger. The things you've done have a serious or obvious, you have either a secret, excuse me, a secret or an obvious admirer. Often a child or a younger person. For instance, are you a mentor? Are you a coworker? Are you a supervisor? See, living is about knowing that we make a difference. So know that you are inspiring someone through your action. And let me keep on the list. Are you a parent? Are you a brother and sister? Are you an uncle? Are you an aunt? Are you a relative? You are inspiring someone by being who you are. In fact, I just had a friend email me something today, and she wasn't specifically talking to me, but she was saying how she's in a 9-to-5 and she's looking forward to one day being able to just focus on being in her own business. So therefore, I recognize as an entrepreneur, that's one of the things that I had to do. And I was able to therefore say to her, you're going to be able to make it and you're going to love it. So I will be able to inspire her, as I have others to continue the entrepreneurial path. So if you're an entrepreneur, know that you've inspired someone. If you're an intrapreneur, that means you're working inside a company, and working with people. You're still inspiring someone because if you're training someone to do something, you're helping a customer get through a situation. See how you have to just keep finding ways to be positive about yourself, and that's what living is all about. So listen, inspire, and then value everyone is the same as when we did love. Let ourselves value everyone. Value the people in your life and make sure that you're valuing yourself. So that's why I added another E to live, and that's listen, inspire, value, and then experiences. Value the experiences that you have in your life. See, as you add up these letters, What can or have you learned that will make your life better by embracing them? How have you listened, inspired, and valued? And what experiences did you get from them? What great decisions have you made because you listened? Who are you proud of having inspired? And who have you chosen to be inspired by that led you to keeping the ball rolling? Who's shown you how to trust, appreciate, or have compassion and help you learn something new about yourself or see yourself in a different light? And who will you pass that on to? That's the experience part of it. So how have you experienced being a good listener and then pass that on to someone? How have you experienced being inspired and inspired someone and then shared that with someone else? How have you valued someone else and valued yourself and let someone experience that through you? So live. That's what living is all about. Listening, inspiring, valuing everyone, and then sharing those experiences so that someone else can live. And then the final L is laugh. Laugh. Let's attempt to understand God's humor. Let's attempt to understand God's humor. See, I always say that, God's ways are not mysterious. We always say, God works in mysterious ways. I say God's ways are not mysterious at all. He's crystal clear. It's just that we don't know the plan. We're on what I call the implementation crew. And the implementation crew just means that we are blessed to be living this life. So what are you doing with it? As you start to, and talk, I'm talking from my spiritual growth, but you could have any type of growth that you have that you want to use. But in my spiritual growth, as I seek, like as they say, faith is in belief, things, substances not seen, but it's not in what you see, it's what you believe. So as I believe and I look for God's glory in my life and how he blesses me, then when I can see them, when I can recognize them, it allows me to recognize, here's what I have to do now to carry that blessing out. Here's what I've done. And wow, look at how I was blessed. Not, I require that I get blessed because I did a good thing. No, it's like, wow. I'm being a blessing, and how can I continue to be a blessing? It's one of the reasons I continue to do Glue Wednesday, because people have told me that it blessed them. And so I said, well, you know what? Even on days where, my energy may be down or I haven't thought of a topic, I say, I got to come up with something because this is a blessing to someone. It's just like, at a church or even at a meeting where someone says, this message is for someone. Or someone even comes up to you and say, you know what, that was just what I needed. So who are you going to bless by being who you are and making sure that you deliver your message? That's one of the things that I love to do. So laugh, Laugh. Let's attempt to understand God's humor and recognize that we're on the implementation crew. Carry out the joy in your life. The L, I think laugh also is Laugh. Letting angels unleash giggles and ha-ha-has. Letting angels unleash giggles and ha-ha-has. Who, not what, makes you laugh? Are you keeping those people in your daily rotation? And by your daily rotation, I don't mean necessarily on the day. What about weekly? What about monthly? What about annually? What kind of rotation do you need to keep the quality of the relationships in your life? And then even when they're gone, even if that person dies, don't go into regret. Oh man, maybe I should have talked to them weekly instead of monthly, or maybe I should have talked to them monthly instead of annually. It's not about regret. Whatever the rotation is that you have with that person in your life, it's a good rotation. And it's the quality of the rotation that makes a difference. So now what you do is you let the memories that they stir up continue to bring you smiles and deep breaths. Because the laugh we're saying is letting angels unleash giggles and ha-ha-has. So if someone you lose to death, they now become one of your angels. And you can stop and think about a memory that they conjure up. What was that thing that you used to do in your rotation? Now, I spoke to this person every week. Instead of saying, oh, I spoke to them every week and now they're gone, I can't speak to them again, oh, woe is me. how about saying, wow, I spoke to them every week, and this is what we would be talking about on this week. And then you just get a laugh. And it's just like we say, I know you're looking down at me smiling. Don't just say that, believe it. You know, we have to be careful with the cliches that we use in our life that we don't use, that we hear in our life, but we don't believe, okay? So letting angels unleash the giggles and ha-ha-has. And then one last meaning I have for laugh is L-A-U-G-H. Learning a unique gift helps. Learning a unique gift helps. See, your gifts are not finite, nor are they finished. You can learn something new about yourself and then appreciate the new talent. It's not finite. You still have another gift that you can share. Maybe someone's a great basketball player, our Olympiads, our readers, and let me go back to the athletes because I thought that would be a better example. Someone's a great athlete. But then what? They become a great humanitarian. They share their message through their celebrity. And then they find a way. You see a lot of athletes trying to do things with kids, and so now they can talk to kids about how they can eat nutritionally. What types of decisions, what types of classes to take, and see now they become someone's messenger, and that becomes a new gift for them. So that their gift of athleticism also becomes a gift for humanity. So you can always learn something new about you through your current gift. And then make sure that you know that you can learn something. Oh, okay. And then you can get better at what you're doing. So you've got the gift and you can get better. So your gift is not finite and it's not finished. Both instances come with a shot of self-satisfaction that brings a smile to your face and spirit, knowing that you make a difference. Know that you're not finished with your gift. Even, how long you play a sport, how long you're a parent, how long you're in a good relationship, whatever time frame you use to measure sharing your gift, measure it and share it. Your gift is not finite, nor is it finished. And it will bring a smile to your face that helps you continue to share it and really infuse into somebody else's life. So making a commitment to history is obviously, when you add all of those up, love, live, and laugh, making a commitment to history is obviously about making a commitment to yourself. By making a commitment to yourself, it doesn't mean that you'll be liked by others, nor does it mean that you'll have an easy road to travel. What it does mean is that you'll be liked and respected by someone. And they'll help you walk that bumpy road with your head up high, knowing that you are about to pass the baton and your life and impact on lives will not have been in vain. So everyone's not going to like you, and your life is not going to be easy. But you know what? Somebody's going to like you, and somebody's going to respect you. That's the quality of the relationships that you have to adhere to in your life and look forward to them. Make sure that you recognize when those angels come into your life and you can find ways to respect and like them as well. Know that you make an impact as you go forward in your life, as you start to recognize the joy surrounding yourself. Joy with me, J-O-Y, just one you. As you recognize who you are and the joy you bring into others' lives, you are going to be adding to history. So you make a commitment to history by making a commitment to the present. Who are you today? Who can you inspire today? Look around and see that as you go through your daily routine. And then in retrospect, because a lot of times wisdom is in retrospect, look back and see who you helped and made a difference in their life. Did someone say to you, wow, you made my day with that comment? Did someone say to you, oh, I'm so glad you helped me with that. I thought it was going to be an impossible task. Just, finding ways to listen and communicate is going to make a difference. And most importantly, appreciate your pace. And then stick with me as we enjoy what we know about glue. G-L-U-E. God's love undoes everything. If we stick together, we're going to make a difference and we're going to march. We're going to make a real commitment. Thank you. A real commitment to history, because all of us make history every day by achieving the first goal of each day, and that is to wake up. Someone didn't wake up today. Someone didn't make it through the whole day. Let's not let that bring us down. Let's let that help us appreciate what God is doing in our lives, and therefore what we're doing in the lives of many. Thank you all so much. God bless you, and I appreciate you. Okay, you know what? Let me go down there because I'm feeling good. So I did I say? Yeah, I stopped at Vanessa and Russell, Richard. Yeah, hey, Aaron. What's up, twin? Good to see you. Welcome. I think this is your first time, and I don't have to be right. Ashley, what's going on, Ashley? HaHaHa. Hey, Romeo, man. Laraj, you know I was just joining, thinking about you yesterday, so I'm glad you blessed me by getting back to me. Hey, Christopher Metz. Yeah, my Clemson brother. All right, good. Hey, Joe Ferrantino. Joe Ferrantino, the guy who believed in me, and my first job when I started at the Wall Street Journal as a messenger. One of the signs I keep up on my wall, and I've done a post before about the signs on your wall, and have signs that have words so that you can read what you believe. One of the signs on my wall is one that was from a campaign that was done, I believe it was by United Technology years ago in the Wall Street Journal, and you could read the inspirational message and then you could send for a frameable on it, and one of the ones I read sent for was called, "Do you remember who gave you your first break?" And then it goes on to talk about how someone saw something in you and believed in you. And so I always think about you, Joey, because he gave me my first break, and that my career at the Wall Street Journal meant so much to me. I worked there 18 years and gained a lot of wonderful friendships through the journal. I know these days people say, well, you don't really make friends at a job. Certainly you can. Certainly you can. We did. Hey, David Chapman. Oh, man. And where are you, in Afghanistan still? God bless you, man. You stay safe over there. Vanessa, another heart from you. Welcome. 90 days, you're coming home. Yeah. All right, Chapman. All right, David. Great. What a blessing. Hey, Leslie. What's going on, Leslie? Yeah. Becky, good to see you again. Thank you. Leslie, thank you for I appreciate that you thank me for the advice. I thank you for listening, not for the period, but for the comment. All right. Hey, what's up, Zed? I love you, my sister. Yep. Love you all the way. Cheryl Patterson. Great. Thank you, Cheryl. God bless you in this time. Kevin, good to see you again. Always appreciate how you've embraced me. My brother from Montana. And closing out with Fred Moore. Good to see you again. Welcome back. And everybody, have a wonderful day, and then turn around and do it again tomorrow. God bless you. See you next week on Glue. Remember, you can always send me comments in terms of what topic you may like me to discuss. It doesn't have to be something that you're having a problem with, but maybe just something that you want to hear about and get my take on it, because I'm gonna switch up a take on things all the time, because I always say control your vocabulary. Don't let your vocabulary control you. God bless you. See you next week on Glue Wednesday. Ciao.